We've been fighting the elements all spring, but excited to have a nice stretch of dry weather here to catch up on some of our construction here. As you look across to the north side of our stadium, you see the retaining walls put in, and our press box will sit on top of that, and that will be our home grandstand. We're putting bleacher capacity of about 900 plus folks will be able to fit in there once the stands are constructed. We have the Musco lighting system all installed at this point in time, and as you can see, the workers are currently doing a couple of things. They're trying to get the concrete borders put in so that the track asphalt area can be installed once the concrete curbing on the inside is completed and the sidewalks on the outside are finished up. They'll come back in a few weeks and start laying down that asphalt. Within the center of the track structure, you can see where the football field and the soccer surface is going to go in. They're working on getting the base in there, hauling all the gravel under structure in. Here within hopefully a month we'll have some turf product going in on top of that. It'll be exciting to watch that going in. As you can see all the way over into the northwest corner where the scaffolding's up, that's where the new concession restroom storage building will be located. And then right next to that, they did just put up some of the steel structure earlier this week where the new scoreboard will be located. We're putting in a FAT timing system, so that will be exciting to see all that once it's up and operational. As you come back around on the south side, the bleacher pad for the visitor side has been put in, and again those bleachers will be coming in hopefully within the next month or so. Hopefully about 250 to 300 folks we can fit down on the bleachers. Nice thing is the entire complex is going to be enclosed by a sidewalk, so people will be able to stand all the way around the exterior of the venue. And then as you come up to the slope bank on the east side of the stadium, we're going to have a terraced area that will accommodate, another 150 folks up here in just a standing place that'll give them kind of a neat vantage point from the end zone if they would like to stand up on the west or the east side of our project. Back where we're standing, back over here to the south side, we're also putting in a natural grass practice field that will also serve as the location for our discus and shot put during the track season. And then down over the hill back to the west again, kind of the southwest corner, will be a graveled visitor parking that we'll have to take a different vantage point to check out. So that is our project as it's currently underway, and do have a lot of additional, about another 130 or 40 hard surface spots, parking stalls going in up into the northeast corner of the project, right close to our building. So we really hope to improve not just this facility, but improve access to parking and ability for our folks to get in and out a little more conveniently than what our previous site offered.
We're on the northwest corner of the complex right now, looking up at the retaining wall. And Mr. Elwood, that retaining wall, that's going to be kind of the top of the bleachers and top access, what I would think of a pretty neat way to get in, a little different than what most have.
You are correct. We will have a press box will sit on top of that retaining wall, and then we'll have a bleacher system. The home grandstand will be a top load system. So it will be similar to being in a arena with a kind of a modified bowl setup where the fans will be able to come in from the top. We'll have handicapped and senior seating toward the top of that, so they won't have to come in and climb upstairs. They'll just be able to take a step or two down and be right in the seat at the top of the stadium. And then we'll have some sidewalk that curves around where we're standing down here to the concession area and back down to the lower concourse around the perimeter of the track for those that want to walk and stand and view the activities from down below.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about, I guess, the track and the field a little bit. Obviously, they're right in front of us as we look at them right now with the field with all the gravel on it. The track will be right in front of that. I guess describe you're getting turf, putting that on, and more of an international style track. I guess explain the decisions behind that, and then what's that going to look like when it's all said and done.
You bet. In terms of the process, first of all, you see all the gravel piled out in the center of the field. That's the base layer that goes down. Actually, you end up 6 or 7 inches of gravel with all the drainage system. You can kind of see some of the different laterals out there that are covered in the gravel already, so that when we do get a substantial rain, it is wicked away from the field pretty quickly. Right, once the base goes in and you have that 6 or 7 inches of base, you actually apply the grass synthetic turf right over the top of that, and that gets attached to the curbs. Once that's stretched out, the cushioning factor actually comes from the infill on top of the turf. So there'll be a layer of sand that goes in next and gets pushed down inside the turf, and that's also what allows the synthetic grass to stand up. And then on top of that, you get the rubberized pellets. So you get a nice thick, probably 1.5 inches of cushioning factor on top of that turf once it's installed. As you talked about the track and the size of field we have, it is more the international style. Most new stadiums that are being constructed are this design. It's to be similar to like the Drake Stadium where the Drake Relays are held. It's supposed to be a faster track from that aspect, and then it also allows you to put a regulation size soccer field in. And as we look to launch our soccer program next spring, we wanted to have a stadium built that would accommodate the future expansion of that sport. So it'd be great for our football complex, for soccer, for track. It's just a win-win for all 3 of those sports. And that's the direction we decided to go with the complex.
And then I guess while we're on the decision of football itself, I know the hopes to have the home opener here, which is week 1. I guess give us the timeline on what's that looking like at the moment.
As of now, the construction was slated to be finished around mid-August. With the wet spring we've had, obviously that's gotten pushed back a few weeks. They're telling us right now they're probably a couple weeks behind schedule. If they get some nice stretches of warm weather, they think they can make up a good chunk of that time and still hope to have our complex open for that first home game. So we're all kind of contingent upon the weather right now. We're hoping for some dry summer days here as we move forward.
Okay, yeah, and I'll go over and just show people where this equipment is that we're looking at right here. It's kind of where the parking lot we were talking about earlier, the gravel. It'll be a lot of visitor parking. I know you were talking about putting buses for track meets and the such there, but that'll be down there with access in that direction. I want to go over here to this concession stand that they're actually working on as we're talking here, putting that together, and that's going to be, we're standing on, I guess, what'll be the sidewalk coming over there, which I guess there'll be a couple different ways to get over there, but then this will all be concrete, really going right up to the track?
Yes, between the concession restroom storage building and the track will be kind of a courtyard pavilion area that'll be all concreted in. And then in this D area of the tracks where the high jump will be held. So as folks want to mingle down there after getting their concessions, they can watch a lot of the different activities from that vantage point. And that was one thing with this site. We just tried to create multiple vantage points, whether it's from the permanent bleachers, from the terraced areas, from down around the perimeter of the track. Any place that we can find to make a neat spectator view as we tried to accommodate.
And I tell you, this probably isn't the best seat in the house right here, but you could see, I mean, you wouldn't be able to see the whole field from here, but you could see a good chunk of the field from where we're sitting, which would be the sidewalk behind where the bleachers will be.